Today we're going to learn how to add and subtract fractions with like denominators. Before we start, we need to understand what it means to have like or common denominators. A fraction is part of a whole. Every fraction has a numerator and a denominator. The denominator, the bottom number, tells us how many parts the whole is split into. For this example, since 8 is our denominator, our whole is split into 8 parts. The numerator, the top number, tells us how many parts we have out of the whole. In our example, since 6 is our numerator, we have 6 parts out of the whole. Having common denominators means that we have 2 or more fractions where the whole is split into the same number of parts. Here's an example of adding fractions with common denominators together. Here I have 2/6 plus 1/6. You can see that each whole is split into 6 parts total, which means that our denominator is 6. Because the parts of each fraction are the same size, we can just add the pieces together. Remember that these pieces show the numerator of the fraction. In this problem, I'll add 2/6 plus 1/6 and get 3/6. I can see that my total is 3/6. Let's look at what solving this problem is like without using models this time. Anytime that we're adding or subtracting fractions with like denominators, we add or subtract the numerators, and the denominators stay the same. It's important to remember that the denominator of the answer stays the same because we're still thinking about a whole split into the same number of parts. Let's write the denominator of our answer first. The denominators in the problem are both 6, so the denominator of the answer will also be 6. Then we have the numerators in the problem. 2 plus 1 gives us 3. Our answer is 3/6. We could also express this answer in simplest form. To get to simplest form, we divide both the numerator and the denominator by 3 to get to 1/2. 1/2 and 3/6 are equivalent fractions, so they have the same value. When we're subtracting fractions with like denominators, we follow the same steps. Here's an example. 9/12 minus 4/12. We'll solve this problem exactly the same way that we solved the first one. Because we have a common denominator of 12 in the problem, we know that the denominator of the answer will also be 12. To find our final answer, we'll subtract the numerators. 9 minus 4 equals 5. So our final answer is 5/12. 5/12 is already in simplest form. Here's one more example, this time adding 3 fractions together. I have 7/11 plus 4/11 plus 8/11. First, let's set up the denominator of our answer. Because the denominator in all the fractions we're adding is 11, the denominator of our answer will also be 11. Just like in the first example, we'll add the numerators together. 7 plus 4 plus 8 is 19. Our answer is 19/11. Because 19/11 is an improper fraction, we could also change it into a mixed number. 19/11 as a mixed number would be 1 and 8/11. Since 11/11 gives us 1 whole, and then we'll have 8/11 left over. Let's review what we learned here. Having fractions with common denominators means that the fractions all have the same denominators and the wholes are split into the same number of parts. When we are adding or subtracting fractions with common denominators, we add or subtract the numerators, and the denominator of our answer is the same as the denominators of the fractions in the problem. Good luck!